Well, good evening. My name is Dan Peterson. I'm the Chief of Water Resources for Sutter County. And I'd like to thank the board for offering me the opportunity tonight to present an update on our efforts to prepare a groundwater management plan. The board has directed the Division of Water Resources to prepare a groundwater management plan in accordance with the California Water Code. Public involvement in the development of this groundwater management plan has primarily taken place by means of plan advisory group meetings. We've held 4 such meetings to date, and those meetings have helped us to prepare a public opinion survey, identify concerns and priorities of water purveyors in the public, and to help develop basin management objectives which are appropriate for Sutter County. There are 5 basic premises behind the Sutter County Groundwater Management Plan as currently proposed. First, the groundwater underlying Sutter County has historically provided the people and the lands of Sutter County with water for agriculture, municipal, and other purposes. The groundwater of Sutter County will continue to be a vital part of future water use in the county. Third, surface water is used conjunctively with groundwater. Therefore, the groundwater supplies must be preserved so it will be available for future conjunctive use. The next is that it is essential for the protection of the health, welfare, and the safety of the residents of the county that the groundwater resource of Sutter County be protected from harm. Those are the basic premises behind a groundwater management plan. The organization of a groundwater management plan is as follows. First, you have the plan goals. Then you have basin management objectives which support those goals. Finally, these result in specific actions that the county will take in order to meet the groundwater goals. Starting off with the groundwater goals, these represent the county's broad goals for managing groundwater. In other words, the goals represent what is it we are trying to achieve. The first goal, as identified by the Plan Advisory Group, is to provide groundwater users with information and guidance to help them be responsible stewards of the groundwater resources in Sutter County. The second goal is to promote responsible groundwater use in Sutter County so that the groundwater is available to continue to meet not only our present but our future demands. The third goal is to discourage activities that could reduce the long-term availability of high-quality groundwater in Sutter County. So this could be considered the water quality goal. The basin management objectives grow out of the identified goals, and these basin management objectives, or BMOs, will help achieve the county's groundwater goals. We have identified 3 different the first basin management objective is the water level BMO. We have 3 different subpoints under this. First, we'd like to avoid ongoing declines in the groundwater levels during the water years that are identified by the Department of Water Resources as above normal or wet years for the Sacramento Valley. We would also, at the same time, like to avoid problematically high groundwater, which for those involved in agriculture is death to an orchard. We would also like to assess problems and resolve disputes related to groundwater levels before they have to be taken to court. The second basin management objective is the water quality BMO. Here we're looking to improve the understanding of groundwater quality in Sutter County and to maintain or improve the groundwater quality in Sutter County. The third basin management objective is for land subsidence. We're looking to avoid inelastic land subsidence that is linked to declines in groundwater. Land subsidence is linked to overpumping. Basically what you've done when you create inelastic subsidence is that you have drawn down an aquifer to the point it can no longer hold the weight above it, the overburden, and that aquifer collapses. The photo in this slide is from the San Joaquin Valley, and it illustrates an area where inelastic subsidence has taken place. Over 20 feet of inelastic subsidence had taken place in a 22-year period.
1925.
The next basin management objective is the surface water BMO. Here we're looking to improve the understanding of the relationship between surface water and groundwater in Sutter County, and we're looking to avoid changes in flow and surface water quality that would directly affect groundwater quality. Conversely, we're also looking at avoiding groundwater pumping that would create a change in surface flow and surface water quality. thereby impacting somebody else's water rights for surface water. The fifth basin management objective is for coordination. Here we're looking to coordinate county groundwater management efforts with other management efforts within and surrounding Sutter County. We're looking at coordinating with local and state agencies, local water purveyors, both agricultural and municipal purveyors. The sixth and final basin management objective is to protect groundwater resources. Here we're looking to protect groundwater resources from harm from the extraction of groundwater for use outside the county. Once you have the basin management objectives in place, this leads to specific actions. These are the things that the county plans on doing to manage the groundwater. So here are the different actions that the Plan Advisory Group has discussed thus far. Establish a monitoring plan. Compile groundwater level data, assess that data, and then make that information available. Improve well standards. Characterize the groundwater and surface water interaction. Cooperate with local, regional, state management efforts, including the local water purveyors. And also, we're looking at the potential of establishing a groundwater ordinance that would require a permit prior to an out-of-county groundwater transfer. And that was a very brief update.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. Any questions for Mr. Peterson?
All right, thank you.
Dave, I got one question for you. Have we had any subsidence of levels of the ground like they have in San Joaquin Valley?
In Sutter County, we have not seen any evidence of inelastic subsidence. Actually, much earlier during the 1900s and 1930s, 1940s, the groundwater levels did begin to drop, and then as irrigation with surface water increased during the 60s and 70s and 80s, the groundwater levels have actually restored to pretty much their original levels. So at this point, Sutter County, the health of their groundwater resources is pretty good.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Sure. Yeah, I had, Dan, as we're going forward and establishing BMOs, is this going to recognize that we have, different basins in Sutter County, and that in certain, the objectives in each basin are going to vary in terms of what's out there, and so we need to have, or is this going to be a uniform standard across the county?
The basin management objectives themselves would be uniform. However, the enforcement of basin management objectives and the specific actions would be linked to individual subbasins within Sutter County. The Plan Advisory Group had discussed many different means by which we would break the county into sub-areas. Right now, it looks like the most feasible method of doing so would to be break it up either by water quality or by geography, and the two are almost identical when you look at the boundaries between the two. So at this point, it looks as if we would have at least 3 sub-areas, and that the actions would be specific to a sub-area.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Peterson, very much for that detailed report. Moving on to our agenda, we have correspondence.